This is collage thoughts number 4, how to finish what you started. I don't actually know how to finish what I've started. I'm really good at starting things. I'm really good at having ideas, and I'm really not as good at finishing things. So this is kind of how to finish what you started, but this is really me like brainstorming a little system of sorts of how to finish what I've started. And there's 3 pieces to it. There's 1, make it finishable. 2, identify blockers. And 3, identify motivators. And that's all I have so far. I feel like there should be like 2 more steps to this to like close it off and round it off. Round it up, round it off, end it, finish it. But that's what I have right now is make it finishable, identify blockers, and identify motivators. Okay, so for the first piece of make it finishable, I have a tendency to really want to plan things out and like think about so much of a project, like from the get-go. I'll think about everything. I think about more than what needs to be thought about in order to get started on something. And so what that results in is me having these huge ideas, huge project plans that are finishable, but they're not broken up into finishable pieces, I guess. So I think this idea of like make it finishable is a key thing for me. So instead of thinking about an entire project, think about just like the first attempt of the project. And you could break that down even more to like even a smaller piece. So for example, for this whole video series of collage thoughts, my initial plan was to do a video for each spread of this book, but that feels like too much. So I'm changing my mind barely into it, and I'm only going to make 6 of these. So the first step of how to finish what you've started is to make it finishable by reducing the amount of work you need to do to finish the whole thing, or by chunking it up into smaller pieces. I feel like that's a lot more applicable to like big picture projects and not so applicable to smaller things. Like with this video, and specifically finishing this video, it already felt finishable. It's pretty bare bones of just like video of collage and then audio of me speaking and then a little bit of editing, but it's already at a finishable state. So the next thing for how to finish what you started is identifying blockers. And I think that's really the more relevant one for smaller things like finishing a video like this. So I have this list of things that I felt were blockers for this video, and I guess I'll share them now. The first one was not knowing what to talk about for 10 to 15 minutes. The second one was feeling uninspired. The third one was questioning what's the point of making this. The fourth was wanting to work on other new exciting ideas. And then the last one was embarrassment at like the kind of low production quality of these videos. And what I noticed is that there's 2 different kinds of blockers. There's knowledge blockers, and then there's emotional blockers. So that first one of not knowing what to talk about for 10 to 15 minutes, that's a knowledge blocker. I don't know what the topic should be, versus all the other ones of feeling uninspired, questioning the point, feeling excited about other things, and feeling embarrassment. Those are all emotional blockers. And so I think the way to approach those 2 different types of blockers is different. I think the approach to getting past a knowledge blocker is researching or brainstorming. And for me, I did some brainstorming for this video of like, what could I talk about? And this is what came up, how to finish what you started. For emotional blockers, I think the key to the way to approach them is by reflecting and ultimately like seeking a mindset shift. So for example, for what I thought was kind of the biggest emotional blocker in that list was, or at least in the moment, was feeling embarrassed of like the kind of low quality. There's a mindset shift there that of like, when you think about people who are just starting out and just learning something, it'd be silly to like make fun of them for not being good at it. Like if you go to the gym and someone's just starting to work out and they can only do so many push-ups, it doesn't make sense to look down on them for that because they're there and they're putting in the effort and they're putting in the work. It's not something for them to be embarrassed about. So this isn't something, this like creating things that are not up to whatever high standard is in my brain that I would like to reach eventually one day. Not living up to that at this moment is not really something to be embarrassed about because I'm putting in the effort, I'm trying. And that mindset shift is what's required to like get through that blocker. I was trying to think of a metaphor for like these two different types of blockers. And I think for knowledge blockers, it's a door with a traditional like lock. So you just have to find the key. You have to find the right information to get you past that door, to get you past that blocker. But for emotional blockers, they're more like secret doors that look like bookcases, and you have to find the right book to literally move and like shift to get to open the door. I don't know if that really makes any sense, but those are the metaphors I came up with for those. So that was number 2 of identifying blockers. And then the third piece was identifying motivators. And for this one, I kind of approached it. I don't remember where I heard about this exercise, but I feel like it was a YouTube video years ago where they just said to keep asking why. And so that's kind of that's the approach that I took of like, okay, what is a motivation here for making this video? And related to that piece of like feeling embarrassed about the low quality, the first thing I wrote down was doing the reps to get me stronger at making videos. And then we ask why. Why do I want to do the reps to get stronger at making videos? So that I can more easily create and share. And then we ask why again. Why do I want to more easily create and share? And the answer to that was because I think I have something worth sharing, and because I want to express myself, and also because I would like to eventually have YouTube as a source of income, whether it's this channel or another channel. But for all of these reasons, this is why I want to get better at creating and sharing. And then we can ask why again. Why do I feel like I have something to share? Why do I want to express myself? Why do I want to make money from YouTube? Okay, but the point of this exercise of like asking why and like digging deeper into what motivates you, I think is just a way to strengthen your motivation and feel connected to your purpose. If I can throw another metaphor into the mix, I think doing this exercise of digging into the why of your motivations is like stepping on the gas pedal. It's what's actually going to get you moving and going. Whereas doing the exercise of identifying your blockers and the types of blockers and finding out like what can help you get past those blockers, walk through those doors, that exercise gets you through the door, outside, and into your car. And then the motivation exercise is you pressing on the gas and getting started and going. Which I think then means that in this metaphor, that first step of making it finishable is really just defining your destination and making it a place that is within reach. You're not going to try to drive like 3,000 miles in one day. I don't think that's even possible. But you can make it finishable and drive 300 miles a day, probably. And looking at this now, I'm like, this is not even how to finish what you started. This is how to start finishing what you abandoned, which is perpetually my problem. This is only like the first half. Like I said, I feel like there's 2 more steps to like actually finish the things. Like we're on the road, this motivation, working past our blockers and tapping into our motivation has got us going. But how do we finish? What happens at the destination that allows us to wrap things up and call it done? I really like this metaphor. I'm going to end it here for now and think about this a little bit more. That'll be next week's video of how to actually finish what you started, because this was really how to start finishing the thing you started.